Hey guys, what's happening? It's Nate from Play Your Court, and today we're going to take a look at the Dominic Thiem one-handed backhand. Big thanks to Zen Rackets. This is their footage. If you are not familiar with the Zen Rackets account, be sure to check that out. Amazing footage of all of your favorite pros. But let's jump right into this. The first thing to really point out is, for us mere mortals trying to take takeaways from the professional backhand, a Dominic Thiem, the main thing, you want to make sure you're starting out with the right grip, right? So we want to make sure that we have an Eastern backhand grip. This is where your knuckles are going to be on bevel 2 and slightly back towards bevel 1. And this is going to help you get that top spin that you're looking for and also help you defend those high balls. Now, a lot of players suffer from taking the racket back low, all right? And what I mean is the racket is below this line here, the racket head. But what you'll notice here is the racket head is up on Dominic Thiem, and something that doesn't get talked about a lot, and we see this with a lot of today's ATP WTA stars, is the index fingers up on the strings. All right, just a nice way to help reinforce the racket, that racket tip moving up. All right, so why do we want the racket tip up? Well, the racket tip up is going to help create leverage over the ball by gaining momentum. So here you can see this line as this racket falls and then comes back around out to contact. All right, that is the momentum that we're looking for to create power and spin. All right, so let's go back for just a moment. I see a lot of players taking the racket back and they're trying to get their elbow high immediately. So they're putting their elbow into a position up here. Just take note here that Thiem is coiling the upper body really before he's set his feet or anything else, or even before initiating any big movements. But as the elbow goes back, he's coiling, and it doesn't get all the way up until he has stepped in. All right, so from here we'll see this front foot taking that step forward, and then we'll see that elbow get up. A little off there with the circle, but that's okay. All right, but that elbow getting up, it's reinforced. So that movement and stepping in accentuates the turn and helps get the racket back. All right, so let's go back for just a moment here again. Something else we want to talk about is operating the racket outside of D alignment. All right, so D alignment, if you can imagine the swing path, and this is what we saw, through the 60s, 70s, and a lot of recreational players still do this, the swing path staying predominantly on the left side of the body as a right-handed player. But watch Thiem's take back here. Look where the racket ends up. Okay, so we can see it's outside of that D alignment. His racket tip is actually pointing behind him. All right, and this is going to allow him to create this massive lag where the racket is behind the hip. And this is critical for creating that power and spin that we see on the ATP. So it's something that we want to play with. All right, play with. So as the racket comes around, it's entering the slot, and then it's this flip to contact. All right, and what we'll see here is that arm at contact. A little tough to see here. We'll see it on the next one. But that arm is straight at contact, and it finishes straight. All right, this is a nice straight line, almost to where the racket is even here. All right, we see this left hand back. A lot of times coaches will tell you to put that hand in the pocket, in the left pocket, to help stabilize and help avoid over rotation. Now, something else to check out here is you can actually see here where the scapular, Dominic Thiem's scapular, is pinched. He's squeezing these shoulders together, his shoulders together at the end of the stroke, and really spreading the wings. And this is just really important for balance and making sure that you get out to full extension. So let's watch the next one. Let's see this next one in slow-mo. All right, so there we can clearly see racket head up, index finger up as he steps in, the elbow We'll go high. There's the step in conjunction, so it accentuates the racket outside of that D alignment. And then it comes around, and that is what I was referring to earlier with the arm being straight at contact as it comes around. And then the scapular pinches. We have this nice line here, right? That's the pinch, and that's spreading the wings on the backhand. All right, really important stuff on this particular one-handed backhand. If you're going to have an advanced backhand, that's something that we really want to focus on. I'll let you watch this in full now so you can really get a feel for it. And guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. Always happy to answer. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and if you think this would help somebody, be sure to share it with them as well. It really does help the business a ton. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.